Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Raider Sports. How are we doing tonight? So, we've had a pretty wild Tuesday. It got kicked off by Dave Wanstead talking about things that he heard while at meetings at Fox that deal with realignment and the Big 12 teams. I'll make a different video on that because we want to talk about the big elephant in the room that everybody is giggling and laughing their ass off about. It's the Big 10, ACC, and Pac-12 alignment that was formally announced today. And if you look at this from a very football perspective, yeah, I can see why people are laughing about it. When I read the press release at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, before I had to go to work, yeah, I felt like it really fell short of what I was hoping to get out of this. And, as a Northwestern fan, as a Big Ten guy, I'm really, interested in what this was going to be. And so I'm looking at this, press release, and it reads more like a mission statement, like a who are we introductory pamphlet, if you will. Because it might as well just have read, we here at the ACC and the Pac-12 and the Big Ten commit to physical and mental health, well-being of our student athletes, gender equity, social justice, academics. And it's like, yeah, we would have assumed that since you're a college, you would be committed to all these. And so what else is there? And then it talked a little bit about, the scheduling alliance, and that they were going to honor all the contracts that they currently have, and that things are, currently under review, and we're going to figure things out. It's too early to know. It really fell short. It really fell flat. It was really, not what one would hope. But when I got back from work, I decided, okay, you know what? Let's actually go put on the journalism hat here. That corporate communications that I paid so much for. So let's put on that hat, go and actually see what these guys are actually saying, because I'm sure there's more to what's going on than that press release is claiming. And one of the things I found as I was listening to them is how much I actually like Kleokov. He was the one who really gave more in-depth answers than the other two. But they used a lot of like these little buzzwords, and I circled some of them. Things like complex issues, turmoil, turbulence, instability, disruption. Like this is really what they're looking at. It's not really from a football standpoint is where they're looking at things. And this is something that is actually interesting, because they said here they're coming together for a commitment to educational outcome. A balanced educational outcome will create balanced competition, which will create the commercial activity balance. So because the SEC is really getting far ahead of them in revenue, I guess, and television rights and whatever else, they feel like they can probably balance this out by using the academic system that they have, the superior academics that the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12, pride themselves on, to kind of even up that playing field. And they even go on to talk about some of that they are committed to, the student athletes, and that really what they're doing is they're coming together to protect the collegiate model and not focus on revenue. And so how would you do that? How would you do that? Simple. You would pretty much make yourselves this great rule committee by trying to punish through rules relating to more academics and maybe graduation requirements, because the I can't remember where I saw it. I tried to look it up before I did the video, but it was like The SEC only graduates like 19 players a year on average per school, and while the other ones are somewhere like in the 20s and 30s. And so there's like this really big, graduation gap between the conferences. And so it seems like they might be trying to, this is just my take, is that they're going to be like, okay, you can be the power, but we're going to make the rules. You can be the best, but we're going to, hamstring you by a whole bunch of little rules that focus on academics, and we're going to try to keep the structure of the collegiate model that they have. Now, other little tidbits here that I've found interesting about this Alliance conference is that the Kleokov came out and said that the Pac-12 is 100% in favor of expanding the playoffs, but there are issues at the margins, whatever those margins are. He didn't specify. When asked about the Big 12 future, the three commissioners pretty much said they have faith in Bob Bowlesby, which is amazing, but they have to say that because we sure don't. They said Bob will do what's best. Bob will figure things out, and that the Big 12 matters in the Power 5 and in the FBS, and we want and need the Big 12 to work. The Alliance will do everything it can to make sure college athletics looks similar to the way it is today. And this transition isn't supposed to happen for 4 years. Talking about Texas and Oklahoma. When asked if this was a revenue thing, the guys came out and really said sometimes it can be driven by money, but the fundamental components of the enterprise you're fighting for is why they are doing this. And there is no signed document. This is more of a gentleman's agreement. It's about trust. And they end by saying that this is the time for conferences to do the right thing for once. And that is putting academics above money, because if you can power through certain academic rules and requirements where potentially a conference like the SEC may have to restructure things in order to get to, you can kind of balance out the playing field that way. If they're afraid of, hey, if we don't follow these rules, there are sanctions. We could actually, start to lose maybe scholarships or something. I don't know what they would throw in there, but it could be really anything. But, so if you can't beat them, mitigate them to death. And that's really what this is all coming down to. Is really seems like the Big 12, ACC, and Pac-12 are making some kind of rules committee and are together on, dealing with stuff like the Austin decision, the gender equity review, the future structure of the NCAA as they go through this, what is it called? The damn Constitutional Convention. They got the college football expansion going on and conference realignment. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be, worked out. But when it comes to this playoff structure, they said, or this scheduling alliance, they said they already got like 103 games scheduled anyway. They're going to have to honor the contracts that they already have. So really, they don't know how that scheduling alliance is going to work, but they're going to figure out a way to make it work. So that's about all, guys. Until next time, I'm signing out.